Jesus.
You see that? He's over there having an argument with his inner demons. I said nothing to him.
Wouldn't be the first time that he has arguments with his inner demons. I'm sorry.
Anyways,
Wow. Hey, so you just gonna like, is how we always gonna start, bro, the intro?
I don't know.
Ah, man, at this point, you know, no, I'm just lying. Hey, listen, my mom always told me, if you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all, bro.
So why don't you listen to her then?
Wow.
What are you trying to say? I have, you know, I listen to my mother 50% of the time.
I was gonna say I think that she'd
At
disagree.
least 20% is what you listen to your own
Maybe
mom.
15%. Maybe 15 on a
How'd
good
you go
day.
from 50 to 15?
15%, because I'm being completely honest. Nah,
Yeah, now he's being honest.
Yeah,
That's
15.
that's fact.
I mean, you hear me, bro. I be talking to my mom hella reckless sometimes.
Yeah, I know you do. It's
Never
funny
mind.
as hell. She'll be like, Ramon, yeah, párale.
Nah, I be hitting and be like, hey.
Te falta unos chingadazos.
Hey, I be hitting her with that. Mom, mira, a mí no me va a gritar. Yo, en esta es mi casa. I be telling her.
She hits you with the, excuse me. Excuse me.
I be telling her, like, hey, no se te olvide. Type shit.
Hey, how's Tom Holland?
Menace, like always.
Is he still humping your arm?
What?
No.
He's not humping your arm no more?
Let me tell you this story.
Tom Holland is a molester.
Tom Holland is a
let's-
rapist.
Okay, first of all, we're talking about Tom Holland, Ramon's cat.
Yes.
Yes, the
Oh,
cat.
my
My
bad.
bad.
I'm sorry.
cat.
I'm sorry.
Ramon has a cat named Tom Holland.
Yes,
Yeah.
Tom Holland. I'm a huge fan
We
of Spider-Man.
stand Spider-Man in this
Yes.
house.
Yes.
Let's be very clear. We're talking about Tom Holland, Ramon's cat.
The cat. Please don't
Yes.
take it out of context.
Yes, please.
Tom Holland, the actual actor, reaches out to
Just because you guys seen that little movie clip of him in the bathroom in the nightclub, don't.
Hey, we stand Spidey in this house, okay?
I respect that. So going back to that, so we had taken my sister, Tanya Tanya and Amy school shopping for clothes.
Yeah.
My dad works for her friend's dad, and they have a bunch of cats. A bunch. So my dad went inside his house, and I guess he came back smelling like the dude's female's cats. And Tanya leaves the door open. Bro, he just marks his territory on all over her new clothes.
All of it?
All of them.
Stop it.
And
All the ones she just bought.
all the ones she just bought. She had her outfits ready for school. And she goes, I'm gonna use the restroom, leaves the door open. For a second, I'm like, why is like, cause Tom would come and meow and then rub his body on me and just keep meowing like aggressively. And she leaves the door open and Tom goes in there, sprays all over her clothes, leaves, goes into his room, eats, and then Tanya goes, what the fuck? I'm like, what? Tom, you pissed all over my clothes. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, look. And I was like, oh, no.
No, she didn't smell like cat pee the whole year. Cat pee
No.
smells so bad.
Washed it, bro. The dryer and washing machine stunk, bro.
The way I would return those clothes, I'd be like, I don't know what happened. But
Yo, Tom was locked in the laundry room for 3 days straight without seeing the light.
My boy was sent to the hole.
I would walk by, and you know how Tulip says hello? And
Yeah.
Same thing.
oh,
Would be like, hello? I'm like, I'll run through the hallway just so he won't hear me. And he'll start crying and he'll start scratching on the walls and trying to climb. And you hear my mom, Tomás, te me placas. I'm like, whoa.
He was like, come on, man. I need my commissary for this month. Come on, man.
oh,
Bro.
but like,
And-
why are you doing that shit?
And my
He's looking
sister,
He's looking at Ramon, put money in my books, please.
bro, nah.
Free me.
Listen, his fat hangs, bro. Like he has little long
You have a
Fill up.
picture? Last time I seen him, he was like skinny and little.
Nah,
little
I
kitten.
don't know. He's not skinny this time. Let me see. Amy has hella. Amy be sending hella pictures sometimes, but she's just like right here. Look, that's how he got bigger. Like,
Why is that a POV?
because Amy be getting some weird ass POVs and look. He's just chilling and then she just does stuff like that.
Oh,
And he has that tie on. He has a blue
Okay.
tie on.
Yeah.
And look, just like stuff like that. Amy just gets pictures of him like that.
that's cute.
But yeah, oh look, and then we have his leash.
Dang. I really didn't know what I was expecting when I was asking about Tom. I didn't know we were gonna get this.
Yeah, he's
a menace.
He's a menace to society.
That's
Interesting.
okay. Speaking about menaces, where are we gonna go eat?
I don't know how those two correlate, but
Yeah, how is that even gonna
I'm
like?
sorry, bro. I'm just starving.
You guys are saying rubber titos, right? You guys want to.
Well, we said if we got time, but I don't think we got time. But
You guys
it might be
wanna-
11.
well, I wanted to go to Tacos Panchos. That's where I really wanted to go, but I think they
You staying?
closed.
Yeah, they're closed.
Okay.
No,
Support small businesses.
I don't live
Absolutely.
here. That I'm sorry.
That's where I
I'm
really
sorry,
wanted to
we
go.
can't fucking have the same expectations as up there in the mountains.
Whoa.
What are you trying to say? Hey,
I'm trying to talk about tacos.
you
here.
know what? You right. Up there is different. You right. They
Oh.
Jalisco's. No, wait. Is it Jalisco's?
I don't live up there, man. I don't know why you asking me.
No. They have Jalisco's Colima, that little restaurant up there.
Uh-huh.
Trash.
Mm.
Super trash.
Okay. Well.
Okay. Well, I don't think we're supposed to be trashing.
No, I'm a trash. I know the owner of that place. I know the owner. I know the owner who owns all those Jalisco places.
Okay.
So do I have to mute any of that? Do I have to edit any of that?
Yeah, edit that out though, because then I'm gonna get major backlash for it, like I always do.
All right then.
Well, maybe
Noted.
Not say what you just. It's fair game now.
I'm just talking. I just want to talk about tacos.
Oh, go ahead.
I wanted Tacos Pancho, but
It's closed.
it's closed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
now I was like, okay, well, let's go to
In-N-Out.
like.
Well, we've been going to like.
We've been going to like taco trucks.
Yeah, we've been going to
Wait.
some taco trucks around here. And shit.
When was the last time we all had Chick-fil-A? Be honest.
Me and her just had it not that long ago, like 2
like, all together?
3 days.
Wow.
Hey, simmer down.
Wow.
Oh.
Also, I
don't-
think
I
it's
don't-
closed anyways.
I don't have
Yeah, it's
that.
also closed.
I don't have that up there. I'm sorry. I don't even have a Burger King up
Hey,
there.
tomorrow? Tomorrow's Sunday.
Tomorrow they're closed.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, but you know what? We should go to that Houston chicken one that you were telling me about.
Houston
Oh,
chicken.
somebody who said that it was really good.
Daniel.
Oh, our friend Daniel.
Mhm.
Because we like Angry Chicks and he's not the biggest fan of Angry Chicks.
Mhm.
But he said that Houston's hot chicken is really good.
It's in Clovis.
But it's like
God damn, we're gonna
it's-
make the push of Clovis. I'm down.
Boy, you ain't that far from Clovis when you come down.
well, that's true if we place like a order for pickup and you can pick it up then.
Yeah. But nothing tops Howling Rays.
I don't know what that is.
Oh my god,
I don't know
dude.
what the
Hey,
fuck
bro,
that
when we
is.
go to Disney, we're
Okay, let me
taking
put you on.
I'm not
we're taking everybody with
Okay,
you.
let me put you
I
on.
am not going to
Let
Disney
me
with
put you
you.
on. Stop being mean to Disneyland.
Why are you being
Can
like
you stop,
that,
please?
I'm
You acting like yo. I said never
Cut it.
mind.
Cut it. You're done.
Cut it.
You're
Your price is way too high. You need to cut it. I'm just trying to help out. I'm just trying to help. Relax.
He's
I'm just
helping
trying to
you
help
out.
Not
Yeah.
me. I'm helping him out.
Me?
Whoa.
Me?
That's what I said.
Wow.
Anyways, back to Howling Rays.
Yeah, back to that, please. I'm just playing.
That's crazy.
Nah, put me on. Just
I
in case
will.
if I go with you guys to Disneyland.
No, you're going.
I'm not.
Yeah.
It's okay if he
I'm not.
doesn't.
Not right now,
It's fine
but
if
you're
he doesn't.
going.
I don't want to go because she doesn't even want me there anyway. So what's the whole point of me going?
Aw, pobrecito.
But I want you there.
Look, see. Listen, we'll go to escondidas some other time.
Yeah.
Lies.
We're gonna go on this business trip to LA.
Business trip.
I'll be in the back seat, just laying down.
No,
you
you're
guys
not.
won't even see me.
No, you're not. Because
I
we're gonna take
will.
my car. I'm gonna come pick him up. You have school. I don't think you'd be like free.
Listen, you don't know my life. Anyways,
Wow.
wow.
I'll do my research.
That'd be a dope vlog for us with broke boys at Disney.
She's behind the camera. Perfect.
I don't like
I'll
being
just
on
fine,
camera
I'll
anyway,
just
so it
fine,
kind
I'll
of works out. And then I'll just accidentally happen. Like Mike
I'm
Wazowski,
sorry,
there'll
I'm
always
fucking
be
with
something
the
in front of your
cord.
face. Yeah?
Yeah, you see, what do you have? Like, what did I
just-
do? Like, I
Mike
don't
Wazowski.
always watch you. First of all, yeah, I'm not going to Disney. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
You're
to break it to
going.
you.
You're going. Shut up.
Someone clip this when he goes next year.
Yeah, and he's gonna have little
Whoever
Mickey.
clips this. No, the fuck.
You're
I'm
gonna have
not.
little
No,
Mickey.
Over
the
the ears.
fuck. No, I'm not.
Yeah, you
He's gonna have the
are.
little tag first time.
We're gonna get him into pin trading.
No.
Oh yeah, you can.
No.
You would definitely like
I'm
that.
gonna spend
You're
time
so
in Mickey
fun.
Because
Mouse
Ramon-
gels.
Ramon used
clip
to do-
this. Clip this.
Shut your
I'm gonna
ass up.
spend time in
Ramon-
Mickey Mouse
I
gels.
have
Ramon
a
used
friend. I have
to-
a story about Mickey Mouse jail.
Well, we'll talk about that right now,
Wait, but I
bro.
have to call my friend and see if I can say it.
Okay, then you have to call her.
Okay, let me call her. Hold on.
But before we continue this conversation, bro, you'd be into that pin trading stuff because you used to trade your Pokemon cards.
I had Pokemon cards?
Or was it your Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Yeah, you had Pokemon cards, bitch.
Are you sure it's me?
Yeah.
Positive?
I might be confusing you to a different bitch.
Wow.
My bad, bro.
Wow.
I really think I got you confused with Elise. Nah, bitch, you said that you have had Pokemon cards.
Hey, please don't clip this. Listen.
Yes or no?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you traded Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I did.
So then, yeah, you would like that. Pin trading is the same thing. You buy the pins. Some are rare. Some are like, common. And pin trading, the way that it works is like, so let's say there's this rare Beauty and the Beast one that you have, right? Mm-hmm. And then some of those pins, bro, they can go up to like thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. And you just save them because they could be limited edition, stuff like that. I had bought and cat this when we last went, the 100th edition Mickey Mouse. And I was just like, okay, cool. So I bought that pin for her, and it has a print label and a stamp and all that. No, I'm sorry. Fucking Google's listening.
Yeah, see,
No,
I'm not
I
going.
love pin trading. Well, really, like the ones that you trade at at Disney, the ones that people trade, they're
Their
like
cheeks?
not. I mean, I guess
Not that they're cheap, they're
people,
common. Think about like, when you can pull out Pokemon decks.
they're the common ones. So every time you want to trade it, so everyone kind of buys their own, and then there are pin traders there that have been like doing it for years, and they have like books on top of books on top of books, and then if they like one that you have, then you can switch them for anyone that they have.
That you're looking for?
Yeah, or that you want.
I'm not getting. Yeah, like I'm not going to Disneyland.
Yeah, he says that now, and then it's all over.
I'm not.
But back
You're
to
lost.
My loss. 100% is gonna be my loss. 100%.
Okay.
back to the story that Kat wanted to say.
Okay, I called my friend. She said I can say it.
Okay.
So I have a friend, and
Was it fun though? Inside the Mickey Mouse jail?
Well,
She was in there with Goofy piecing him up.
I don't know about all that.
I'm just trying to have a conversation with the people in there.
So my friend, she's in college. She was in college, whatever. It was like freshman year of college, probably. It was like pretty early.
Yeah.
And her group of friends wanted to go to Disneyland for like a day trip, and I think it was a weekend trip actually. So it was like 2 days, I think. I could be wrong. Anyways, but they took hydro flasks because at Disneyland you can take food and you can take drinks. Like you can take whatever you want.
Yeah.
So they all had hydro flasks. So in one of the hydro flasks, it was not water. And in the other two, it was water. I think it was just one hydro flask that was like was
water?
contaminated.
Contaminated.
Well, it didn't. I don't know if it had like wine or beer, but it had alcohol of some sort, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
It had some sort of illegal substances.
no.
Be on the radar.
So listen.
Stop.
So then they made it through security, right? Because they got on the tram, and then I want to say, I should have asked her for the specific details, but I want to say it was before they even entered the park. They were like circled by these random people like dressed normally, and they got caught with the alcohol in the thing. So then they took them elsewhere, and they were like, "Hey, can I see your ID?"
I thought they were in the park already, and like they were passing it around.
I think they were in downtown Disney.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't even think they made it in. Fuck, I should have asked her the details, but she's with her mom, and her mom still doesn't know.
Oh.
And this has been, like, years later.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways, so they took their ID, and I don't think she was 20. She wasn't 21 yet. So then she was, like, she told them, like, oh, we go to this school, and, like, this is what we're studying because the major and, like, all that. Like, they were really smart girls. They were just like trying to have fun. So like, no, this is the school we go to, this is why we're here, this is what we're doing. And they were like, okay, you're just banned from the park for today. So they couldn't get in. So literally they were like at the hotel that they paid for all day long because they couldn't go to Disneyland because they got banned for the day.
Yeah.
I wish I asked her the specifics, but she's with her mom right now.
So they were just huddled up. These people were just.
So she said they were wearing like random, like normal clothes. And then like came up to her.
You know how I told you like that they have
cover.
Yeah, they have hidden agents in Disneyland.
I need to ask her the specifics. So I'm so upset. Like I feel like every time I tell this story, I forget.
You know everything though. You said the specifics.
But I forget bits and pieces of it. That's why I was like, I should have asked her, but she's with her mom right now.
Bro, can you imagine if let's say I do go with y'all and I just start gassing on people and I gas on one of them and like, all right, come here with me. I'm like, why? You gassing on me, back? Hey, bro, can you imagine? I was like, damn, that fool ugly as hell, and then he's just like, hey, come here. I'm like,
but like I've said this before, like that job must be so fucking cool. Like you're just there at the park the entire time, and you're just vibing.
I don't think that if we ask them and be like, hey, be honest, do you really like the job you're doing being an undercover? So I'm pretty sure a lot of them would have to say yes, but I don't think they'd be.
But like think about it, bro. You're there at the park. You can enjoy it. Then there's a lot of shit that you could do while you're waiting.
Well, I'm sure they're not always undercover. I'm sure they take like turns. Someone's undercover, someone's doing this. But I'm sure it's probably like the fun of it all because you're like acting like a normal person.
Or can you imagine?
You have to blend in with the crowd.
Can you imagine Mickey just putting hands on me? Just like
Mickey Mouse himself, bro.
Just pieces me up or just gassing on somebody. Like just be like, oh, he's just like, I'm like, oh, my fault.
That's wild. Yeah, well,
you know.
Anyways,
but hey, like by all means, whoever likes Disneyland likes Disneyland. Me personally, I've never in my life. I'm being completely.
You've
honest,
never experienced
Disneyland,
but you're going to.
I'm not.
You're going to.
I was like a Disney kid.
Because like once again, you guys had it like that. I didn't. Well, not you, obviously not you, but
first of all,
you had it like that. I didn't.
What do you mean had it like my Nina was a Disney fan and collected the VHSs and she would just play them for us.
What he's trying to say is that you went to Disneyland at a young age.
Mm-hmm. I didn't.
Oh, I did, but it wasn't like
I never had that experience though. To be honest, if I did, I would have been like, yeah, I'd have been hella.
But you watched Disney movies,
But I'm
right?
not talking about Disney parks. I'm talking about like Disney.
Yeah, so
Disney.
then you grew up with Disney as well.
That's what I'm talking about, like the books, the movies, the music, like not necessarily going to the park.
Not the music, just the movies. Just throwing it out there. But
Disney songs hit, so you're lost.
It's okay, bro.
Hannah Montana.
You're gonna.
Whoa.
No,
something triggered you with that.
I didn't.
One.
Oh my god!
Is it the plot twist that one girl's trying to be two things at once?
Pretty much.
She always trying to flip it.
Like just.
What do you mean? She just wants the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
what's the problem with that?
That's true.
What's the problem with it?
Oh, nothing. Ain't no problem.
You can't pretend one thing and then flip the script to be somebody else.
She actually did, and she has for years. So.
And maybe inspired other people to be the same.
Listen, you can say what you want.
Yeah.
She is an icon. So
she is.
I know that we're getting super off track and we were talking about Disney, we were talking about tacos.
Yeah,
back to the food situation.
This whole thing off.
No, shut the fuck up, bitch. This is good content. We're leaving this.
Excuse me?
Back to the food situation. Yeah.
Why are you looking at me like that? Like he wasn't trying to put you back on track.
I'm just, what's going on? What am I doing, bro? Tell me.
Nothing. Relax.
Exactly.
Wow.
Calm down.
He's on my side.
So before we fucking continue this shit.
I'm just fine.
Before we fucking continue this conversation, let's go ahead and let's roll the intro.
Really? Look, what's so funny, bro? I'm just trying to be me. Look, see?
I'm literally sitting here right now.
You don't gotta say anything at all.
Wow. Anyways.
So
I'm
on this episode, this is a special episode. This is for Hispanic Heritage Month. I know we were talking about, different things in the beginning, but we're trying to make this episode special for our Latino community, to learn a little bit more of the Hispanic Heritage Month and the meaning behind it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it's Hispanic Heritage Month. It begins on September 15th. Mm-hmm. It runs until October 15th. Mm-hmm. September 16th is Mexican Independence Day.
Mm.
And yeah.
Yeah, so what we wanted to do is we wanted to talk about a few impactful people in for Hispanic Heritage Month. So we had female some female politicians, some female actresses,
Yep.
singers, different things. We also doing research on musicians, some musicians that had an impact into the región mexicana of music. We also have we also have some. We had some civil rights leaders, I can't speak.
Civil rights leaders.
Yeah, we have some civil rights leaders. A few people that are impact for Mexican or for Hispanic Heritage Month. So Kat's gonna go ahead and she's gonna explain her first few.
First few. Oh, there's more.
Her
Well, I was just gonna I was gonna start by
well, it could be whatever you found.
however many you want. Yeah.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, like this is for obviously people that we don't know. We did this whole research.
Yeah, there's a lot
we
that,
dug
that I've
into.
seen that I'm just like, yo, who are these
we dug
people?
into it really deep to learn a little bit about some impactful people.
See, this is the type of thing, bro, that should be implemented, and they should upgrade the history book.
They should start.
They should, yes.
They should start doing that because this is very vital. Is it vital? Vital
Yeah,
information.
pretty much, yeah. Because there's only one person they talk about in the history book, if I'm not mistaken, which is Cesar Chavez, right? And it's only one page to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty like picked over what they
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like honestly, if I'm being completely, they should just upgrade the books by now. They
I
should.
do know though, because I'm going to school to be a teacher. I do know that there are teachers, like there's no direct curriculum that I'm aware of that goes over like the specific like individual people or leader or events of like a certain heritage or culture. But there are teachers who do like art projects and side projects. So like if it's like the Hispanic Heritage Month or like in February, I know it's the African American
Black History Month.
Black History Month.
Sorry. There are teachers that do outside activities that highlight that, and then they'll do like for the different holidays. Like I know Muslims have certain holidays, like Islamic holidays.
Ramadan.
They'll do side projects to like highlight that, but that's like the teacher's discretion what they like how deep they want to go into it.
Which I respect that. Shout out to those teachers that are reaching out to that because there should be some culture awareness. There should be more diversity in the schools and to be respected and to learn a little bit about one another's culture.
I'm surprised, bro. Like, there's not like, you know how there's a lot of movements. I'm surprised that like they haven't done one like this to where they start upgrading like the history books and making it equal instead of one having more to talk about than the rest. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I feel like I feel like if I'm being completely honest, I feel like they should do that just to make it fair, so that way they actually like understand and not just understand a little piece of it. You know, to give them a little bit more
to be more
in depth,
more
more detail about it, and like not the partial crisis that they had, but like at least a little bit more, so that way they can get a good image in the head of how they had what they did to suffer through just to do what they can now.
Yeah, like when we did that that episode that we were just talking, we were talking about different things. One of them was there was a few, there was actually a huge amount of Mexicans that were fighting in the Civil War.
And I didn't even know
both in the North and the South. And obviously, you know, they're willing to sacrifice for the country. Like, let alone, it wasn't just Americans that fought. It was also the African Americans. It was also Hispanics. I'm pretty sure there was Asians too. And then just stuff that wasn't written, and that definitely should be more implemented and more respected, and more of a just like I said, equal diversity. So Kat has a few that she wants to talk about, or just a little bit. But before that, can you tell us what Hispanic Heritage Month really means and what's it about?
Yeah, so I googled Hispanic Heritage Month. It runs from September 15th to October 15th, and it's celebrating the histories, culture, and contributions of American citizens whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central/South America.
Okay.
So that's what it is. I was researching Hispanic women.
Mhm.
Hispanic women. Um, so there are a few. I'm reading off online because I know of them, but I don't feel like I know enough to talk without reading.
I respect that.
No, it's
So
okay.
I'm
That's
doing
okay.
that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Also, some of these names I know I will mess up.
Oh,
So
trust me.
Trust
Trust
me,
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just try your best. At the end of the day, we don't mean to offend. We're not
Yeah.
professionals.
No, we're
We don't.
not.
So this one's Rigo Berta Menchu.
Mhm.
She's a Nobel Prize winner from Guatemala. She
Mm.
advocates for the rights of indigenous people.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
she was the most celebrated speaker at the World Social Forum. And in 2006, she created the Nobel Women's Initiative to promote justice, peace, and equality for women.
Nice.
She's pretty cool. Then there's Gloria Stefan. She's a singer.
Mhm.
She's from Cuba. Wait, yeah, she's from Cuba.
Mhm.
She also produces Broadway musicals, and she's a chairman. She's a chairman for a campaign that raised 40 million to build, um, to not to build, to build the like prize money
Mhm.
to cure paralysis.
Okay.
So
Oh,
she donated.
okay.
She raised some of the money for that.
Mhm.
She. I'm trying to think what else is right here. Oh, she started her musical career with the Miami Sound Machine, and her music reached the top charts for years.
Nice.
And I think now she has a podcast. Her and her family.
Yeah,
Actually, I don't know. I think it's called the Stefans, maybe.
I wouldn't doubt it. Which is good. Which is good thing that
I
they're
think she
still
does it
continue doing
like
it.
her. I think her niece, maybe. I don't know.
Mhm.
And there's Frida Kahlo. I feel like everyone knows her. She's the artist.
Mhm. Selma Hayek played her.
Did she?
Mhm.
I didn't know that. She's a
Yeah, and the
feminist
what was the
icon.
movie called?
I
But
have no
Selma
idea.
Hayek played as her.
That's her.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
wow.
her life story.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So she is a feminist icon and an artist. And she focused on women's strengths rather than living in the shadow. Frida chose to live out loud despite her unconventional lifestyle.
Mhm.
She was the first Mexican artist featured at the famous French Museum. And sorry, I was reading a quote. And she was also a communist and an activist.
We love activists.
I thought you were being sarcastic.
Not being dead ass.
Oh, okay. There's Isabel Allende.
Mhm.
Allende.
Isabel?
What'd she do?
She is the most widely read Spanish language author of all time.
Oh,
Yeah, she's Chilean.
Wow.
She's from Chile.
Chilean?
Yeah, she's from Chile.
Chile.
Mm.
And she is one of the most famous Hispanic women in history due to her contributions to society.
Nice.
So then she has a famous quote, and it says, "Write what should not be forgotten."
Ooh.
Wow.
And the library is inhabited by spirits that come out of the pages at night. So she was really
Spiritual.
there's so many, like I just wanna there's Rita Moreno, she's an actress. She plays in One Day at a Time. She's a grandma in One Day at a Time.
Okay.
She's Puerto Rican. She was also in the West Side Story, and that's kind of what put her on the radar. And she's the first Latina to ever earn an Emmy, an Oscar, a Peabody, and a Tony Award.
Wow.
Damn. All that.
Dang.
Hey, big
She
shout out to her.
also is an advocate for racial and gender equality, immigrants, and relief for Puerto Rico.
Nice.
Okay, okay.
I feel like a lot of people know America Ferrera. I think I'm saying that
America
wrong.
Ferrera?
She was in the Barbie movie. She had the monologue about how women are supposed to like look pretty and do right and like not like the Barbie, like the whole.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch the movie.
Oh,
Nah,
you're
neither.
gonna watch that when it comes out.
Mhm.
But she is an actress and activist. She is a co-founder of Harness, which inspires, educates, and activates an independent community of cultural organizers and encourages people to use the power of storytelling to create a more equitable world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was her. There's Elena Ochoa. She was the first Latina to go to outer space.
Wow.
She
Didn't
was a
even know that.
research engineer,
Uh-huh.
an inventor who created optical systems for aerospace missions.
Dang.
Yeah, there's a lot, and then there's Selena Quintanilla.
Hmm.
I feel like everyone knows Selena.
Everybody knows Selena. Yeah.
Everyone loves Selena. I
Yeah.
love Selena. My sister loves Selena. She's the first Tejano female artist to win the Best Mexican American Album for her last album.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks that her career was cut short,
Very short.
but she could have. She could have. It's wild that
Oh,
that they could have created like. Don't you think it's wild to really sit there and think about like fuck like what could they have accomplished if they were still alive?
damn.
Yeah, or like
You know
how much
many
bigger she would have been.
awards?
Yeah.
You know how many? You know how many? Bro, I could already see it. Like she would have been opening the Latin Grammys.
Yeah.
I would.
For real?
Yeah, she would.
Mhm.
Instead of having what's his name?
Even now, she wouldn't have been that old.
Yeah, she wouldn't. Bro, do you think she would have been way better than Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah.
Way better.
Singing wise, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I have two
Yeah.
more, and
Yeah.
then I'm done. Dolores Huerta.
Okay.
She is a civil rights activist. She worked alongside Cesar Chavez and found the first union for farmers in the United States.
Nice.
She was also a teacher.
Mhm.
I noticed that many of her students in her class showed up malnourished, and that inspired her to begin her crusade to correct economic injustice. So that was her stance.
Nice.
And then I have Sonia Sotomayor. I think that's how you say her name. She's the first Latina to serve on the Supreme Court justice.
Nice.
Um,
She currently still
I
doing
think-
it right
yeah,
now?
I think, yeah. Let me double check, but yeah, I'm pretty sure. So she's the first Latina and the third woman to serve on the Supreme Court justice.
The third woman.
The third?
Third
Third
woman.
woman
Isn't that wild?
and the first
That's
Latina
wild. Third woman.
Isn't that
Wow.
wild?
to serve on the Supreme Court justice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like trying to find other fun facts about her, but
But that's incredible. That's incredible. That's those incredible, impactful women. One of them that I know that you didn't mention, but you probably would have, Jenny Rivera.
yes,
Jenny Rivera had the domestic violence organization. She wanted to help out other women that was struggling with domestic violence, because she experienced a lot in her path, in her upbringing. And she wanted to make sure that these women knew that there's always somebody to support you. There's always somebody that's out there that's willing to help you out. And she was one of them that was just like, hey, if you're having struggles, if you don't know what to do and you need a place to run, my places are open, my organizations.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. Since she's been in the Supreme Court, she's ruled to uphold the Affordable Care Act and legalize same-sex marriage.
Okay.
So that's what she's been doing.
It's good. Equality.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was in 2009 she became a Supreme Court justice.
Damn, 2009.
She's from New York City. Her parents are from Puerto Rico. And she grew up in New York.
Dang. She's from In the Heights.
No, but they mention her in the Heights. In the movie. Yeah, they mention a lot of
That's dope.
inspirational women.
And
There's so many more. I just don't have time, and I don't.
No, it's okay.
I don't have like the
just
the
to get
knowledge
a
right
little
now.
bit. Yeah, just to give
You
just a
name the
little
ones
bit.
I've never heard, except for the Selena and other ones. But
Yeah. No, there are so many more, like
Yeah.
actress and singers and all that.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
So yeah.
Yeah, and Ramon, I know you were looking at civil rights leaders. What do you have?
I have some that I've never heard or never. You know, the first one is his name is Hector P. Garcia. Garza. He he's known for it says Garza became known as the doctor to the barrios.
Los barrios.
Yeah. Office law and non-coast treatments to improve the patients in 1948. Garza founded the American GI Forum, organized veterans to fight for the education and medical benefits, and later against poll taxes and school segregation. That's what he was known for. He was born in I'm gonna mispronounce the heck out of this name. It's a little town in Mexico. He was born January 17th, 1914 in Lerena, Mexico.
Okay.
and he was awarded Bronze Star Medal Ohati Award. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Education, the University of Texas at Austin, the University of Texas Medical Branch,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna mispronounce this university right here. Let's see if you got with that. This one right here.
Starts with an X, right?
No, it starts with a C. Cerigotion.
Korean tea?
University.
Korean.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Mm-hmm. This is one of them. Someone I've never heard before.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another one. His name is Rodolfo Gonzalez.
Mm-hmm.
He was a Mexican American boxer.
Okay.
His speeches revealed Gonzalez was a key figure. His words exposed and attacked the culture, stereotypic, plugging his people from centuries under European Americans.
Yeah.
Never,
Okay. Yeah, no, I've never heard of any of that.
I've never heard. These are new.
Mhm.
What's another one? Jose Angeles Gutierrez.
Okay.
Never heard of him neither. He was one of the founders of La Raza United Parties, and also was involved in the founding of the Mexican American Youth Organizations.
Mhm.
Once again, never heard of him. Not even. These are all new to me.
Mhm.
And then the other one was Gustavo C. Garza. Same. He was. It was short for Gus. Was a Mexican American civil rights attorney. Garza worked with the following attorney: Carlos Cancenada in. Let me see. Garza was an American civil rights attorney. Garza worked with the following attorney: Carlos Cancenada in the landmark Casa Hernandez v. Texas.
Okay.
Arguing before the U.S. Supreme Court for the end of a practice of a systematic exclusion of Hispanics.
Mhm.
Let me see, Hispanics. Yeah, bro. I don't know.
I've never heard of any of
these
those.
people. Never,
Yeah.
bro.
That's incredible.
Okay. Systematic exclusion of Hispanics from jury service in Jackson County, Texas.
Mhm.
Even though Mexican Americans compose more than 10% of the country's population, no person of Mexican ancestry has served on jury there in 70 or other Texas countries in over 25 years. The High Court, led by Chief Justice Earl Warren, ruled the United States citizens could not be excluded from jury based on national origin because such exclusive denies to accuse of jury his peers.
Mhm.
Never heard of him, bro.
Yeah.
I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
And then who else? John H. Herrera.
Mhm.
No picture of him whatsoever.
What do you do?
And it says, born on October 1st, 1949, is a Mexican-American labor leader and activist who was the principal, legitimate, I don't even know how to pronounce that word, but it was in a class. What the heck? Never heard of him. Okay, was a principal in the class action suit Levanino versus Cat Bell.
A lawsuit?
A lawsuit. Yeah, it was a lawsuit. He is also a graduate of the hashtag College of the Laws.
Mhm.
That's it, bro. There's not that much of all these ones without pictures.
Mhm.
Like,
Which is just it goes back to a lot of shit that was written off history. Like they didn't want to, not that they didn't want to show that light, but then they just were so focused on like, no, like you're not an American, and so then they kind of
it just blows my mind.
didn't give them the
though.
credit, didn't give them the recognition that they deserve.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be really hard, like, to cram all of that in a school year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because then it's not like we're very biased in that we're Hispanic. But then, like, then there's the Black History Month, and then there's the Pacific, I think it's Pacific Islander Month?
Pacific Islander Month. And
Or
then there's
there's, like-
Indigenous Month.
Yeah, I just think it'd be really hard to cram all of that in a school year.
Mm-hmm.
But
But I think
I
when
think
they
it
were
could
making
work.
curriculum, they were definitely picking and choosing what they wanted us to learn and the stance that we took
Yeah.
when we were learning it. I feel like it's written in a way where we all kind of all form the same opinion, whether it's right or wrong. It's what we were taught and what we were like taught to believe.
Yeah.
And I think at some point it was with good intention, but now it's doing more harm than good.
Yeah.
I think.
Just because like that, a lot of history was neglected from other races.
Well, and then our the way that our textbooks are written are not that they're wrong, but they're very
One-sided.
one-sided.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not, and it's like
But it's every country too.
I think so, but like I think that the problem that, again, me standing on my soapbox, I think that if like we're not that we're lying, but we kind of are, like the history that
Pretty
we're taught in
much,
school.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're kind of being lied to from a young age to like to think this way and not and
It's almost like
it's a double-edged sword. I
yeah,
think.
or it's almost like it's only what they want you to learn, right?
Yeah,
It's almost
and then,
like
the
that.
stance that they want you to have on it, like
Yeah.
like the whole like pilgrims coming and like dressing us in
Uh-huh,
pilgrims when we were little.
yeah.
Like now being older, that's a very different like that. It's very different from what we learned.
Yeah.
And I think if we just present this information the way it happened, then I think it'd do a lot less harm. Than it'll do less. It'll do more good than harm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know. I just think.
I also feel like technology had a major play now.
Yeah,
back
technology and then
then.
college too. College really
College, yeah.
opened up your eyes. Like there's when I was in college, they had Chicano studies.
Mm-hmm.
They also had studies for African Americans,
Mm-hmm.
Asian culture, different things like that. There was just a lot of studies for people to openly talk about it and to learn more about the cultures.
Mm-hmm.
Because even when I was in my criminology class, we had a specific course that was called what was it called? It was Crim 13 cultural diversity.
Mm-hmm.
So it showed you and it taught you every culture's like different stereotypes, different, like just go in a complete form. Like when you're talking to somebody, for example, someone who's from Asian descent, and you're talking to them and you're trying to have not like an interrogation, but you're questioning them for their respect is they won't look at you in the eye.
Right.
For Hispanics, they're like, no, mírame. Like I need you to, I need you to know that you're respecting me and you're keeping the eye contact.
Pretty much.
So then, for us, it's just like if you don't look them in the eye, you're not telling the truth and you're being disrespectful. But in Asian culture, you're not supposed to look in the eye. You're supposed to bow your head down and like
And just listen.
and listen. That's it. And a lot of officers were making mistakes of like, no, I need you to look at me, but they didn't respect that in the Asian cultures. This is their norm.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Same
There are
thing.
a lot of little like innuendos, I think is what they're called.
Yeah.
There are like a lot of them like that you don't generally know because you're not taught unless you're like in the environment and
Right.
then you like figure it out.
Yeah.
But like people in power, I think need to know these things.
Need to be
Principals
more
need to know these
educated.
things.
Yeah,
Police
pretty
officers need
much.
to know these things.
Mm-hmm.
Teachers should know a little bit more or less. Like I feel like if you're in direct involvement with the community, it is kind of your job to make everyone feel included. I mean that should be the goal of your job. But
Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
I think to make everyone feel safe, they have to feel included, and to be included, you have to feel like you're seen.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes back to like
Well, yeah,
Education.
that's true. Education wise, because now the class is mixed. You have different race in there. It's not just only one. It's
Yeah.
different.
And I think if you, because it's proven you don't learn from someone you don't trust.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't. Like the goal of like not the goal of teaching, but like a lot of teaching is building relationships with your students.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you don't trust them or you don't think that they respect you, you're not going to trust them, and therefore you won't learn.
Yeah.
Facts.
And then it's
That
just a
is facts.
cycle. Then it's just a cycle that you have to break. And then God forbid that kid's old enough to think that everyone's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then their education just took a back seat because one teacher was having a bad day one time and didn't acknowledge something.
Yeah.
And then
Well, it's like
kind
he
of
said it last time.
downhill.
He said it best. I mean, I feel like the only way you actually learn about someone else, where they come from, is by having a casual conversation with them and then be like, hey, like I do this different here, you do that different there.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you really think about it, if the schools really sat there and really like hit every subject from every culture, they'll do it. But I feel like it's up
I
to
feel like
them.
if there's if there's a will, there's a way.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Facts.
you can definitely
I was gonna
contribute
say
into
right
that.
now. I think it does go back though to the teachers. Because there is no, and then teachers also their goal is to get students to meet a certain set of standards by the end of the year.
Yeah.
See that?
And it goes, and it that's the problem is that they have
Not only just the teachers, but I also think it's also the parents. I feel
No,
like
yeah,
that.
it's a
I feel
group.
like like you do.
It's
Yes.
a group. Yeah, it's like a group project.
Yeah.
Like that kid's getting raised by a village, and
Yeah.
and if you think about it, the teacher's part-time parenting these kids
Mm-hmm.
because I mean you're at school, and not that it's a bad thing, but it's just what's happening. So everyone has to trust each other going into a school environment
Mm-hmm.
because everyone you're trusting that teacher not only to teach your kid but to keep them safe.
Yeah.
You're trusting that school, you're trusting that principal, you're trusting everyone. So
Pretty
the
much.
parents and the teachers and the parents and the administrators
Yeah.
all kind of need to be on the same page to set that
Absolutely.
kid up for success.
Yeah.
And that goes back to like the trust and the respect of like their cultures, where they come from, their background, the way that they live their daily life, all that coincides together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's just it will happen eventually. I mean,
One day, I mean,
one day
eventually it will.
happen.
But it's fine. You know, you got to learn. You got to learn one way or another. And
Pretty
the
much.
parents, you definitely should share those stories. Share what you know. Share where you come from.
Give a little bit of feedback so that way when that day comes and they ask them, hey, where'd your parents come from? And then you're just like, oh, my parents came from.
Yeah, and it's not to
Yes.
scold them. Don't get it twisted with scolding them or telling them, oh, well, yo vengo desde aquí y tú que estás aquí traes, you know, and you kind of bash them for it.
For real.
And it's just like, no, it's not about bashing your kids. It's not telling them like you have a better opportunity than I have.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's about learning. It's about telling them so that way they understand. Like, it's not to
The
throw it in
shit.
the face. Yeah, but the one thing that I was researching was the entertainment industry. For artists,
Well, that was going to be good.
for songs, musicians, even some comedians that I looked into. So one of the comedians is Cantinflas. Cantinflas
Iconic, super
was super huge, I think in the 60s. And he was recognized by Charlie Chaplin as one of the greatest comedians in that time. Because Cantinflas was definitely a Hispanic historic figure.
Yeah.
We saw him in different comedy skits, and he would just be such a goofy character,
Yeah.
you know, and he'd just be out doing dumb stuff. It was so funny, so entertaining, and it was black and white, you know, back then. Then another comedian that you have is Chespirito, El Chavo del Ocho.
Oh, my God.
He was such an icon. Just to see, like, okay, like just straight comedy with all them. Don Ramon, La Bruja del 71, you know?
But what was his name? What was the teacher's name? Professor
Profesor
Girafales?
Girafales, yeah.
Yeah.
El Señor Longaniza. Yes, just...
Ñoño?
Ñoño. Kiko.
What was his dad's name?
El Señor Barriga. Yes.
Damn, bro. That's
Just that. It's crazy to think of, like, back then, like that was, they were icons. They were
Yeah.
comedy icons, actor icons. And obviously in America, they weren't really welcomed. The Mexican or Latino actors weren't
Yeah.
welcomed at that time yet. Pero see, if it wasn't for their sacrifice, they wouldn't be to where they're at right now. There was a commercial in Dish Latino with Eugenio Derbez.
Eugenio Derbez, yeah.
Yeah, he made a commercial with I guess you could say a CGI of Chavo del Ocho, and like showed it, and then in the commercial, he was just like, wow, like I didn't know that life in the future was going to be, you could see it through a screen and all that.
Right.
And Eugenio Derbez was just like, if it wasn't for your sacrifice, a lot of us Latinos wouldn't be fortunate to be into this platform, into these TV shows and movies. And if it wasn't for your sacrifice and your inspiration, this wouldn't have happened. And that's incredible to think of, like, how much of an impact a lot of those entertainers were back in the day.
Pretty, yeah.
and it's just insane. But then it's just so impactful. The artists that I was seeing, obviously you have Jose Jose, Juan Gabriel, Vicente Fernandez, just different types of artists, and some of them I'll read you what they accomplished. So it says 15 of the greatest and most famous Mexican singers of all time. It says first we have Luis Miguel. Luis Miguel, who is a relatively newcomer to the Mexican music scene, but his records have sold more than 60 million copies, combined to an equal part of charisma, good looks, and a constant presence of touring scene. His powerful voice and hot rod statue position him near to the top of any popular Mexican singer. Known as the Son of Mexico, he is one of the top Hispanic performers in history, in his tour grossing near 300 million in ticket sales. Vicente Fernandez had a long career, cementing him as not only as a Mexican singer, but as the world's most famous charro. Vicente Fernandez not only did songs, he also did movies. No? Yes. Yeah. And like I would say like if you see the movie Coco, that I would say that the guy that you could say that they're getting most of the pictures about, what was the main singers, De La Cruz. What was his name?
The main guy was
the main singer.
Ernesto de la Cruz.
Ernesto de la Cruz. So in the movie, like if you see it, like he was a singer, songwriter, producer, actor.
De todo.
De todo. And like it's almost similar to how Vicente Fernandez's career was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
He was all those things.
Yeah.
And Vicente Fernandez used obviously different songs in
his movies, no?
In his movies, yes, he would sing. It was incredible. He was obviously doing things into that point of like you grew up watching them. I grew up watching some of the fucking films, you know.
Yeah.
My mom had the
watch them to this day.
My mom had the VCR, the little tapes and all that, where he would have the movies and we would watch that. Same thing with Pedro Infante.
In 2017.
They have it recorded and everything.
Yeah. Wow. At his ranch, we all went and he came
Los
out.
Tres Potrillos.
Oh, Los Tres Potrillos?
In Guadalajara.
Yeah. And then we waited and we went in, and at first it was like a tour, and I guess every so often he comes out. He came out for our tour, and then we got to take pictures with him, and then he started singing for us just in his house, just chilling. Damn. His horses were training, he was chilling, and then after he started, he was walking us out, and we went one way to leave his property, and he went to his house. But it was so cool, and we have him singing like I'll show you later, but. It's like he's like singing like literally they just hand him a mic and he starts hitting those notes.
Yeah. But I feel like in this day and age, like everybody knew who Vicente Fernandez was.
Yeah, it was cool.
And that's one of, I guess you could say that he's one of the most impactful singers of our generation, because he was singing with us before he retired and he couldn't sing anymore because of his voice.
Right.
And he was still doing all kinds of things.
Is he our generation though? I don't think so.
I would say he is, because he died. He died recently.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think he would be like our grandparents' generation.
Yeah,
even when he started. Like when he started.
Well, how do you categorize it? I thought it was because he's still in that. If he's still there.
When you started, no.
I don't know.
That is a good question.
I categorize it because we grew up with.
Yeah, because
we're not the first ones.
No. But like if like since he died now.
Yeah.
And
maybe,
then and you know the newer generations, they don't know.
They don't know like how we know, you know, because like
that's what I'm saying. I just don't.
We didn't see him live, but he was still performing. Right. He was still making songs. I would say he is considered in our generation. Obviously, like we didn't first listen to him when he first came out, but he's still part of our growing up, our upbringing also before he died.
Damn.
Yeah, it says here that he won, or that he sold 50 million copies of his record, and with his image many see in their mind when they picture a Mexican cowboy. They picture him as a Mexican cowboy with mariachi music. With 7 Latin Grammys and American Grammy and countless, what does that say?
Which one?
Accolades?
Yeah, accolades.
And several accolades and fans, Fernandez is one of his most easily identified Mexican singer of all time. And then you have Juan Gabriel, of course.
Is Joan Sebastian in that category?
Joan Sebastian is also in that category.
Cruzaré los ríos, los montes. No, I'm just like,
Pedro Infante is another one. Pedro Infante is one of the most famous Mexican performers of all time. He was multi-talented and enjoyed successful as a ranchero singer and actor. Throughout his life was cut short in a plane crash. He had already starred in more than 60 films and recorded nearly 400 songs. His musical talent spanned genres, making him a star across Latin America and the world. The only song he ever recorded in English, Bésame Mucho, has been recorded by current megastar like Andrea Bacio. He hasn't.
Who that is?
He wasn't the original composer, but he helped spread the melody around the world to the global audience. His death is the subject of many conspiracy theories, with some claiming that he is still alive and living and hiding to avoid the paparazzi. People still flock to his statue across Mexico and his shrine in Mexico City.
Sounds like a good Mexican conspiracy theory.
He's the Tupac of
He's the Tupac of
back then. You also have Jorge Negrete.
Jorge Negrete?
Yes.
Never heard of him.
It says here Jorge Negrete grew up in Mexico City, the son of a foreign Mexican army colonel. The young Negrete also saw military service, and that is where he discovered his musical talent. He hummed his performing talent and recorded several operas in the United States under the name Alberto Moreno. It was these early far years into showbiz that helped develop relationships that would lead to successful career in film and music. He is also known as one of the Tres Gallos Mexicanos, or 3 Mexican roosters, a trio including himself, Pedro Infante, y Javier Solís. Negrete died of liver disease when he was only 42. However, he left a prominent mark on Mexican music and film, and fans still make an annual visitation to his grave and pay tribute to the man who sang as the singing cowboy.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you have Javier Solís, and then this is my favorite one, and obviously there's many more that I'll get into. Chalino Sanchez. I grew up listening to Chalino Sanchez.
Yes.
And Chalino Sanchez, his life was cut short also.
Mm-hmm.
Chalino Sanchez is known as El Rey del Corrido.
Corrido, yes, sir.
Yes, as in, I guess you could say the rap, the trap music of his time. Back then, it was a very taboo to even sing songs of corridos,
because they were super.
You have people that were like, no, that's something you don't do.
Yeah,
it's like gangster rap.
It's like they mainly were just like, you're just putting too much vital information out there. Like that.
Yeah, and then it's just like you're promoting to the wrong people, the mafia members, the Hispanic mob, and you had cartel members, and you had just different high-powered people. But a fun story, or not a fun story, but a fun fact about him: when he started in Inglewood, recording, he had cassettes. He would go to like Walmart's, Home Depot's, and he would hand out cassette tapes, and tell people like, just listen to my music, here, do that. That's how he did it. And it was obviously a long upbringing for him to even do that. His life story is incredible.
Super incredible.
Like he went through a lot as a child, and then eventually, came to the States also and tried to work and try to figure it out. He ended up going to the fields, trying to figure it out there. Then he ended up finding a passion in music. As soon as he got his passion in music, he started making corridos, like we were saying, like stuff that weren't allowed to be sung, but he did it anyways. And then people started noticing him around the area, and then there was people that were in the local bars, the local clubs that started telling him, "Oh, come perform, oh, dude," and they started helping promote his music and all this stuff. And his upbringing was just so quick. And then once he was able to get something, he had a very unique style of how he wanted his music to be.
His voice too was
his
unique.
voice was very unique. A lot of people didn't like his voice, and that was his downfall because he couldn't sing like Vicente Fernandez. He wasn't similar to him. Like, he was very different. And the same thing with Valentin Elizalde. They were very different to the Hispanic genre.
Yeah, they were.
So he couldn't compete in that sort of sense. But then you had locals that would be like, "Hey, I'll pay you this much money if you can write a corrido. Hey, I'll pay you this if you can sing it." All this other stuff. He was getting, he was making songs left and right. He wrote a lot of songs, a lot of corridos for the people, and he knew it was going to backfire him on one occasion. He knew it was going to come.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for that man's sacrifice, and many other Latino artists who made those same sacrifices, they wouldn't be as how it is now. Nowadays, you can listen to a corrido, you can have people be like, "Yeah, make me one." Yeah.
Without it being like a problem and an issue.
Back then, it was a problem. It was a huge problem.
It was like almost like, if you really think about it, it's almost like snitching, bro. In that sense,
not snitching. It was like how gangster rap was in the 90s. Gangster rap was very like, no, you can't listen to it. Very underground. Same thing with that. Like, it was very underground. It wasn't
like that. So it was pretty much just like, they didn't like it because it was too much vital information.
Yeah. And I guess that people would say it invoked violence, which it didn't. It was just a story. It's just a song. And back then, it wasn't fabricated. It was all true.
Yeah.
And Chalino Sanchez was named El Rey del Corrido because he would do all that. If it wasn't for that man's sacrifice, the songs that wouldn't be allowed, like those types of songs would not be allowed in this day and age.
Nope.
Yeah. And it wasn't just him. You have Valentin Elizalde. You have people like Tito Torbellino.
Oh, listen, bro, don't even get me started with him.
You have a lot of these artists that unfortunately lost their life just because of those things.
Yeah, the same songs.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite song from Chalino Sanchez?
There's a lot, man.
Tell me your top 5, and I'll tell you my top 5.
So there's a corrido called Armando Aguilar, I want to say. Las Cruces Negras. What else? Pávido Návido.
That's a good one.
What's another one? I'm trying to think of another one, man. I can't remember the songs completely. Let me check.
All right. Want me to tell you mine?
Yeah.
All right. My all top 5 is about La Baraja de Oro, Las Nieves de Enero, Alma Enamorada.
Oh, okay.
And then
Prenda de mi alma is one.
Yeah, that was a good one too. A ver, ¿cuál otra?
I know what I'm saying. I have his little life story right here. So it says Chalino Sanchez started life on a small ranch in Sinaloa known as Rosalindo Sanchez Felix. He grew up the youngest of 7 children. He was no stranger to violence and allegedly committed a murder after the rape of his sister in 1977. So there's no record, but there's rumors. So that there was this man, a rich, wealthy man that had raped his sister, and he was going to get back at that man and shot and killed him. and he fled. He fled Mexico to the United States, and he worked in different jobs. Like I was saying, in the fields. You know, he was trying to make a living, and it says here. It says when his brother was killed in 1987, Chalino composed his first song, a corrido. He sold his first recording personally, venting cassette tapes out of his trunk of his car. He began collabing with other immigrants on creation of budget recording and helped the pioneer of the corrido prohibition style of music that glammed the lifestyle of drug smugglers. His connection to violence, world of smuggling, led to the famous shootout on stage that he survived. Eventually, his kidnapping and execution-style murder were by suspected narco traffickers. So, this is an event that happened. He was on stage in, I want to say, in Coachella, California. He was on stage performing, and there was a guy that was requesting a corrido. But Chalino was just like, you know, hey, I'll get to it when I can. Like, I'm performing.
Yeah.
And they said that alcohol was involved. Obviously, this was back in the day where people were able to, you know, have a gun out in the open. They have it on them, you know? So the guy gets on stage, and as soon as Chalino, like, reacted, it was too late. So the dude had already whooped out his gun, capped him a couple times, and Chalino tried to pull out his gun. As soon as he pulled it out, his gun jammed. So then he thought, like, that was it. He was like,
just done.
He's done.
Damn.
He survived. He survived. I think 2 or 3 weeks later, he had another performing, but it was going to be in Sinaloa, back into his roots.
His roots.
And people were telling him, like, hey, man, like, you just had the shootout, like, you shouldn't go.
Yeah.
And he was like, but what? Like, he was like, I'm not going for that. He's like, I'm going for my fans. Like, they deserve this. He was like, and if God wants to take me, God will take me. And it happens.
Damn.
And so he went.
That's where he got that famous no, huh?
That same night that he got the note, that video that's been going around for years. That was the last note.
Last night.
And that was the last night. That was the last time that he performed. That was captured live. Him reading the note. I'm pretty sure it said something that, you know, that was it. And no one ever recovered that note. No one ever knows what happened. And the way that it worked, the rumors, is that he said goodbye to his manager, his bandmates that he had, that he took from California to perform out there in Sinaloa. He told them goodnight. He said that he'll see them later. He was going to take one route to go to the hotel. They were going to take another.
Right.
He takes that route. He ends up getting pulled over by police. They kidnap him and they shoot him. And they kill him and they throw him into, I think, behind a gas station dumpster. Damn. And that's how they find his body. That was the last of that man.
Wow.
But if it wasn't for his sacrifice, it wouldn't be how it is now.
Yeah, no,
he was
crazy.
An impactful singer.
No, he was, for real. He really was.
And a lot of people know, like, especially like if you grew up in a Hispanic household, like if you heard that, you know damn well there, especially if it was those OG DJ tracks that they're like, yeah.
Once you heard those, you're like, yeah, there's gonna be a party. Yeah, like there's a party.
Tengo la alma enamorada,
corazón. God damn.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Another one that I didn't put on here or research on my phone, but I know a little bit more about is Los Tigres del Norte. They always have contributed to immigrants.
A lot.
They sang about a lot of stories about people that came to this country and they don't have anything, you know? And they've made a lot of corridos, made a lot of things. They've done a lot of impactful things for the Latino community. They've always like sang about real shit that's happened in the world, real stuff that's going on, and they've never been afraid to voice their opinions.
Never, bro. They was just straightforward with it. It was just like, it'll always be a hit. No matter what the song was, it'd always be a hit because
And every
it was
song
real.
had a message.
Every song, yeah, every song did have a message, bro. And I feel like that's what made them unique in their own, and they're almost like in their own world because, like you're right, every song they sang had a message, and they would clarify that towards the end.
Yeah.
Towards the end, it would be like the lead singer, or it would be the guitarist who would say it and clarify what that message was about.
Yeah, there was a song called what's it called? La Jaula de Oro, which it talks about how immigrants have came to this country and they started a life. It goes in depth of talking about like how their kids, like they can't have a relationship with their kids because they speak English, and they don't want to go to Mexico like they do because they miss their hometown, they miss it, and they have the life that they have the lifestyle here, but then it's just like, okay, like like once I'm done here, I'm retiring back home. And it's just like, if not, they're staying here. And then it goes back to saying like the cage that I live in, regardless if it's gold, it's still a prison.
Yeah, that is facts. That is facts.
Because it's a beautiful song.
It is. All the songs are beautiful, bro. All of them, if I'm being completely honest. Like I said, they all have their unique messages, and I feel like that's what makes them.
There was a
unique.
corrido too of like them talking about some Salvadorian, how some Salvadorian people struggle, and they call them, when Mexicans cross the border, they call them wetbacks, because they cross one border to get here, right? But for Salvadorians, they're called three wetbacks, tres mojados, los tres mojados, because they have to cross three different borders to get to the United States.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, and like it's a struggle. Like, could you imagine, man? Like, then they have to leave to find a better life. They have to sacrifice so much to have a better life. Yeah. I know I've talked about my dad before, and like my dad suffered a lot, but so did my mom. My mom had a harsh upbringing also, and she's able to live and tell the tale now. Her story is insane also, and it's very impactful. When she crossed from El Salvador to Mexico, she went to Mexicali, stayed in Mexicali for a while, and she said that for not to get racially profiled by the Mexicans, she had to learn to talk like how Mexicans talk. Right. She had to learn the language in that sort of sense. She had to switch the way that they pronounce certain things, because if not, then you were outcasted or you were treated a certain type of way if you weren't, from there. And especially, like, could you imagine the terms that they use in Spanish compared to the Spanish in Salvadorian,
I can only imagine, bro.
It's completely different. And then it's almost like a discrimination towards one another, So my mom had to struggle with all that. And then when she finally came to the United States, like she had her brother take care of her, to help her out. Yeah. She struggled a lot, but she still managed to pull herself forward. And my dad had a fair share of that too. But if it wasn't for her sacrifice also, she wouldn't have gotten to where she's at right now. And then say it as it is, like, if it wasn't for my mom, my dad wouldn't have the papers, because my mom, she had already gotten her papers. And like, I've never told this story to anybody, but my dad, when he was working with the Cyber family, Jerry Cyber was trying to get my dad his green card or work visa, right, so that way he can go back and forth to visit his family. I think at the time my dad had lost his grandma, my great grandma. He had lost his grandma, and he couldn't go see her, or I think he went to go see her. I don't quite remember. But he was trying so hard to get his work visa, to visit his family, to be able to see everybody. And there was the way that my mom had told me is she was in the kitchen just, minding her business, cleaning and stuff. And Jerry was stressed out. He was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm trying to get you your work visa. And my dad's stressed out because he's like, I'm filling out the paperwork for you and like trying to understand. And Jerry was trying to help him out. And Jerry looked at my mom and he was like, Vero, like, do you do you have your papers? And my mom was like, I've been.
Like, I can't.
And he was like, then why am I doing all this shit? He was like, why am I doing all this extra shit? ¿Por qué no se casan? And my dad looked at her and he was like, we're gonna get married. My mom was just like, not like this. Like, but it's funny when she explains it. Like, that's just how it all started, you know? And I guess I was the witness when they got married, but I don't remember.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Thank God they did, because now we have you,
Mhm.
and then Beto and Jerry,
Yeah.
and then your sisters were a package deal.
Mm-hmm.
Respect it.
Yeah. So my mom has suffered through a lot, went through a lot, and if it wasn't for her, my dad wouldn't have had the papers either.
Mm.
So a fair share of equality is there for both of them. They sacrificed so much to come here to give not only us a better life, but to give themselves and their families as well.
Yeah, damn, bro.
Mm-hmm.
My mom did too. I'm not gonna lie. My mom did struggle a lot. So did my dad too. The same thing.
Mm.
But my dad didn't struggle as much as my mom did because he, as soon as he got here at the time where they were giving the papers, and he got his by going. I could be mistaken though, but when he was telling me he got his papers when he joined the union. Because of the whole civil rights with workers and everything.
Yeah.
So then they started giving everybody out their papers, and he was one of them. He got a chance to get them by joining the union in construction. So that's how he got his. But if I'm gonna be completely honest, bro, like my dad, like I love that man to death, but he doesn't really like touch into a lot of that. But like my mom, on the other hand, like I said, he had his fair shares of struggling and everything like that.
Yeah.
But my mom struggled the most out of my dad because I remember she had to she came over to United States and she had me here. So then I had my papers and then she went back.
Yeah.
And then she went back and then I was just like, she went back. So I had my papers and everything. And she was just like, after
As a baby,
that,
you had all the papers in?
yeah, I had
You
the
were
pa-
walking around like, yeah, I'm a citizen.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could. And so
Respect
then-
my authority.
So then, like, there's this whole fallout between my dad and her, and she was just like my biological father. So they had a fallout. So she came back, but she had to come back the other way. Me, on the other hand, she one of my uncles had my mom le hizo una carta poder a one of my uncles, and that was the only way for them to bring me through. So I had everything, my birth certificate, everything, and they brought me through. And then my mom ended up I ended up seeing. She said that she ended up being with me and my grandma, my uncles, like 3 days later, and she was just like she struggled a lot, and then because even though she was little too in Mexico, she had to work, make her own money. She lived through the same thing I was living as being a stepchild.
Yeah.
The same thing. Me and her have similar storylines, and like I said, bro, she struggled a lot, suffered way too much, bro, suffered a lot. And she just didn't deserve to suffer like that, bro. Like, I understand. Like I said, if it wasn't for her, bro, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I would have my, I wouldn't be here at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like I said, though, like it's kind of hard, bro, when you sit down and you ask your parents how life was back in the day, and then it just all sits you, and it all hits you, and you're just like, yeah, I understand, like the struggle and everything.
And it hits you like so hard. Like I had this heart to heart with my dad, and like that shit fucked me up because he said it. He was like, when ya cuando tenía los 15 años, when he was 15, before he left, he said that he told his mom, my grandma, he's like, les prometo que los voy a sacar adelante. He said, I promise I'm gonna put you guys ahead. I'm gonna do everything I can for you guys. And like he did, like, at 15 years old to come to this country and not have anything, nothing to your name, and you work from the ground up and you figure it out. And he did that. He not only successfully did it for his siblings, but he did it for his parents too. And you know, it's unfortunate that my grandpa wasn't able to experience that same level of success with my dad, because you know now my grandma, she just became an American citizen.
Oh.
And my dad was just like, told her, like, he was like, yeah, yo ya te cumplí. And she told him, she was like, no, like, you did. She was like, you did more than that. She was like, yeah, I'm proud of you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the sacrifice that you did, because if it wasn't for that sacrifice, none of us would be here.
Facts.
And my dad, you know, sacrificed so much for them and put them further than, you know, further than what he imagined, what he thought
He
he was
accomplished more.
He accomplished way more. And like I said, if it wasn't for his sacrifices, nothing would have came of it, you know? Who knows how things would have gone if he didn't take that risk, and he did.
Took that leap of faith. Damn, bro.
Yeah. And I'm grateful for that. And he's an impact in this world. So is my mom. And that's why I said, like, I want to be an impact in this world too. And I'm gonna do everything I can for everybody. So this episode is dedicated to all the Hispanics for their sacrifice. I know that it's hard, that many of them have came to this country with nothing, and they are trying to figure it out.
Trying to turn that nothing into something.
Absolutely. And most definitely give a personal shout out to all you guys who are currently trying to figure life out.
For real. I know it's hard, like you said. I know it's hard. We understand. Keep going.
Yeah, big hugs. We love all you. We appreciate the support. This is dedicated to all the Latin heroes. Some of the people that we talked about today. To our parents. Our parents, they're our heroes. And the next time that you see your parents, and give them the recognition that they deserve. Because if it wasn't for their sacrifice, you probably wouldn't be in the position that you're at right now.
Facts. Super facts, bro.
Be grateful for them.
Yep. Damn.
Yeah. Well, that's all that I have for this episode. Thank you guys very much for listening, and we hope that you guys feel special on Hispanic Heritage Month, and to learn a little bit more of other people, and to remember, if you see your family members, your relatives who come from Mexico or come from Cuba or any other Latin American culture, ask them their story and sit there and listen to them.
Trust. They'll
Because
hit you like...
it's amazing how far they came. Yeah. Well, much love. We appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.